Shawnee. Welcome back. Just getting back from yoga, and I thought I would play around with some eyeshadow. I had some eyeshadow on a moment ago, and I realized I didn't like it, so I was like, let's do something else. There's one palette I want to get out. Or maybe two palettes. So I have the Sunset Chic and the Pretty Chic from Colored Raine, which don't think these are available anymore as they have gone out of business. But I use things that I have. So, yeah. And I want to sort of like copy a look, but I'll show you the look that I'm copying at the end. So this is probably going to go up as part of Jan and occasionally Mai's collaboration, where we take inspiration from a look and we create our own. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I was going to start with this Colored Raine paint base, but I don't want anything that... I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. So I actually think I'm going to use some concealer as an eye primer. We'll just see. I don't know. We're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, y'all. So I was reading the news and I came across two stories that really stood out to me. The first one is going to sound like a story I told you a couple of weeks ago because it's almost the exact same thing, but it's almost like one of those things where it's like the names have been changed to protect the innocent, right? So remember a couple of weeks ago, there was a couple who had a rooster. It sounds like the beginning to a bad joke. There was a couple who had a rooster, and one of their neighbors complained that the rooster was like crowing like super early in the morning for a while, right? Like for an extended amount of time. And the couple, it seemed like only one neighbor was complaining. The couple like claimed, that they had gone around, they asked every neighbor or told them, hey, we're going to have a rooster, FYI, how do you feel about it? And it seemed like everybody was cool. But I don't know if the homegirl who complained, I don't know if she like was new to the neighborhood, but it seemed like she didn't give her consent to have this rooster up in the house. So she takes them to court. And they are just like, it's not even a big deal. Like all this stuff. I don't even remember what happened. Did they keep the rooster? I don't even remember. Somebody tell me what happened. Did she move? I don't even remember. But I know they were like, ain't no big deal. Whatever. And this was an elderly couple. So, cut to me reading the news, and I see another story, and I'm like, is this the one that I just read like 2-3 weeks ago? It's different. This one is with Harold Brown, 80 years old, okay? Now, Harold Brown has a cockerel. I had to look up the difference between a cockerel and a rooster, and I'm going to go ahead and let somebody go ahead and type it, because I'm sure you know. I have no knowledge, okay? I don't remember having roosters and cockerels up in South Central Los Angeles. Anyway, so what I looked up, correct me if I'm wrong, is that a rooster is like an adult male chicken. But a cockerel is like a young male chicken, like an adolescent. I think, okay? So he had the baby of the bunch, I guess. Maybe, I don't know why Harry was like, I don't want an adult one. I'm going to just get this little boy. So, about 6 neighbors complained about Harry's cockerel. I know this sounds so dirty. They said that he was cockle-doodle-doing at like 3 a.m. So, they needed to get evidence. So these like wildlife experts came out to like see what was going on, and they said that the Cockrell was cock-a-doodle-doing 90 times in 90 minutes. I'm like, y'all, that's 90 minutes straight. Like, once a minute for 90 minutes is 90 minutes. Why they say it like that? Like 90 minutes during an hour and a half. 90 minutes during 90 minutes, or 90 cock-a-doodle-doos during 90 minutes? There's 90 of them. Every way we slice it, it's 90. Okay? 3 in the morning. To the point where the residents are like, this is straight up torture. Some people are like, I can't even go on that side of my house because I hear it. This other homegirl is like, I have migraines. And when you have a migraine and you have an animal cock-a-doodle-doing in the other side, like, it does not help. Okay? So Harry is like, first of all, let me back up. Okay? Hold on. What did I want to use? Why am I confused? Okay, I'm going to start with the Lure palette, I think, from Blend Bunny. It might not. I'm going to start with this shade here, which is Folklore. So, I'm also not sure it's going to give me the look I want. You know what? Actually, I'm going to put a matte base down and then put that on top. Is that what I'm going to do? Okay, I'm just going to go into Seafoam first. And this is a Sonia G Builder brush. I think this is from her Lotus collection, which was a couple years ago. Okay, so going to court, right? They take Mr. Harold Brown to court. He decides to represent himself. I feel like that's always an indicator of, like, not good gonna happen. Like, so already, Harry's like, I got this, okay? I can do this myself. I don't need no help. Like, y'all don't have to worry. I got this. I don't think I would ever represent myself. I'm not a lawyer. I know my lane, okay? And it didn't say if, like, Harry's like a retired attorney or anything, you know, a barrister. Like, I don't know that Harold, mind you, Harold is 80, so Harold is like, I've lived enough life to know that I am fooling with y'all. Okay, so now on top of Seafoam, I'm going to go into Folklore. Anyway, I'm gonna press into it because it's kind of like a spongy texture. Okay, yes. I think this is what I want. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna go with it. Anyway, so Harry represents himself because they were like, you need to pay us 200 pounds. You know, it's over there in England. And Harry's like, listen, first of all, he not cock-a-doodle-doing, right? Like, maybe let's call him Charles. Charles the Cockerel. Chuck is not cock-a-doodle-doing. It's like more of a croak. I'm like, Harry, that doesn't make it any better. And maybe you only think it's a croak because you're a little older and maybe you don't hear as well. And so the cockle-doo sounds like a croak. That's what would be maybe my sort of plan as like counsel, legal counsel. Maybe just trying to figure out a way to get Harry off of these charges. And so, you know, he pleads not guilty because he's like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. Now, did I say, yeah, I said that the wildlife preserve people came or whatever. But Harry's like, I refuse to bow to your nonsense. Chuck ain't doing nothing. But if Chuck starts at 3 a.m., that means for 90 minutes, he ain't done till 4:30. How many of y'all get up that early? I I don't. On certain days when I'm going into the office, I do have to get up at 5:30, which is like the sun ain't even warm yet. So I couldn't even imagine 3 o'clock in the morning hearing Chuck, whether he croaking or cock-a-doodle-doing or like having a chat with somebody. That's early in the morning. It's too early. It's too early. Like, people legit feel like they can't be in certain sides of their home. Okay, I think I'm going to go into In a Bottle and Bioluminescent. I hadn't even planned on using this palette, but here we go. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to lay down a matte and then put a shimmer on top. So for the matte now, I'm going to use either Lost at Sea or Sea Nymph. Probably Sea Nymph. Anyway, so they're just like, Harry, yeah, bud, like, you're in the wrong here, and so you need to pay. And to me, it wasn't that much. Like, Harry, go ahead and pay that 200 pounds, boo, and just move about your business. But they were like that he's causing a nuisance, and the neighbors are like, it's actually torture. Did you know? I was reading something, and there was a torture method of just like having a goat lick your feet to death, I guess. I just be wondering how you be coming up with this. How you know that is a thing, that could work. It sounds super uncomfortable. Like, first of all, I'm probably gonna be ticklish. But like, it doesn't sound like a good time. Anyway, go ahead and put this over. Yeah, so Harry, they're like, pay this $200, stop being a nuisance. Harry doesn't listen. But you know why Harry doesn't listen? Because good old Chuck died. But don't worry, we're gonna come back up in our spirits. Chuck died, and so the didn't say cause of death or nothing. The neighbors are like, ooh, we get a bit of a reprieve. Until Harry done bought another cockerel. I feel like Harry is petty. Harry is petty. Because he didn't need to do that. Harry waited a good like couple days. He was like, nah, I'm going to go get me another one. Harry exhibits the amount of petty that I appreciate and hope I carry into my old age. Okay? Because I feel like that is just petty boots. Because he didn't have to get another one. Harry is playing around with them people. Harry is just like, I feel like having one, so I'm gonna get one. Okay? And unfortunately, the one we was fighting about isn't here anymore, but that's okay. Okay? Because I'm gonna get another one. Where you go get a cockerel at? Do you just go to a farm? Because they don't have those in like pet stores, right? You have to specifically seek out somebody to buy one of these chickens from. Right? You have to. There is no way. You have to seek them out specifically. You have to seek them out. There's no way. Or I don't know. I've never tried to buy a live bird animal. I've never tried to buy a chicken. I've never tried to buy a rooster, a cockerel. I don't know. So maybe is it black market? I don't know. Okay? Let me know. Some of y'all, I know somebody knows. Anyway, so I don't know what Harry gonna do. I feel like Harry is just like, I have nothing better to do with my time. So I will keep trying to sue. Keep trying to sue. I ain't gonna change my mind. Keep trying to. He's just like, I am ready, okay? I'm ready. I have time. Harry is like, what do you do in that situation? Because then he couldn't have always had it, right? I don't know. Like, if you're a realtor, you probably don't even tell nobody about that. Like, yeah, this is a great place to live. I mean, I feel bad for those people. I feel bad. Because Harry don't seem like he care. Harry's just like, I'm going to keep harrying. Harry does not care. That's the thing. And I just feel like it's, what if it was a neighbor that went and took care of Chuck? I don't put nothing behind, I feel like anybody will do anything. I just thought of that. It was the neighbors. How all of a sudden, it don't sound like Chuck was sick. How all of a sudden he died. That don't make no sense to me. I'm going to go into Explore. It's blue here. Maybe even mix it a bit with the deep. I didn't think about that. Oh, because I'm like really conspiracy theorizing. Harry also believes that it's a conspiracy and that the neighbors and the like legal counsel folks are, is a conspiracy between them. I don't know for what and why. Like, one, I don't know why he thought that, but I'm willing to entertain the idea. And I don't know what the conspiracy, what the end goal would be, right? Like, they conspiring for what? To like what? That's the part I don't understand. I don't understand most of it. But are they conspiring to get him out of the neighborhood? Because I think they just didn't want the cockerel to be cockle-doodle-dooing. But you know what? How all of a sudden that bird died? I hadn't thought about that. I was just like, oh, that's so sad the bird died. Somebody snuck something into that bird feed because it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Harry. Okay, I'm going to go into Black Sea and combine that with the deep. I just want a darker outer V. I swear these Wayne Goss brushes always shed, in my opinion. Let me know if you think that those neighbors killed that bird. Because how convenient that this happened right now. Y'all did something to that bird. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Oh. But you know what? Like, isn't this nice that this is the only thing that's, taking up time in their life besides, not thinking about the fact that the world is going to hell in a handbag. It's just, society is just throwing on some skates made of ice and just flowing right down the hill. Anyway, so, you know what? I need to give myself permission for this to not look exactly like the photo. Because that's what gets me trying to do the copy kitty things. I'm always like, it has to look exactly like it. And if it doesn't, I'm a terrible person. No one has time nor energy for that. I'm sure Jen and Erica are tired of it. Okay, so we got that. Blues are so, some of these deeper colors are so interesting because they can just take on a life of their own. So I'm just going to keep going in and blending. And let me know what you think about Harold Brown, 80 years old, and about his bird, about Chuck. I feel like some of them neighbors did something. I'm with you, Harry, but not on the, like, I think the conspiracy is afterward. I don't think they're conspiring against you to get you into court. Or maybe, maybe they were. Maybe it was from jump. They were like, listen, we gonna go ahead and take him to court. We already know that they're gonna be like, no, dude, you're wrong. Once we get that verdict, or while we're getting it, somebody sneak up into that house and put some in Chuck's food. So yes, now I've convinced myself that Harry is correct. I'm like, you know what, Harry? Yeah, that's what happened, sir. People shady, Harry. People are shady these days. They killed your bird. But Harry was like, it's cool. I ain't got no loyalty to Chuck. I'll get me another one. Anyway, let me tell you this other story. So this story, I read it and I was like, this is ridiculous. And then something similar happened in my life. This is not common, okay? Sometimes some of these stories are so ridiculous, there's no way it could happen to anyone that I'm aware of, let alone myself. But it did. So let's start. There's this story in Shandong province in China. Now, this elderly man, we hitting all the elderlies today. This elderly man was really, really ill, and he was in the hospital. So his family, like his daughter and stuff, they wanted to get access to his money to help pay the hospital bills. So this isn't a let's get access to his money and steal it all. This is, listen, we don't have it like that. We need to pay for his treatment, and we need to find a way. And he has a little bit of money up in his account, so let's go use that. So they go to the bank. And they try to get access to the man's account to do like a transfer. And the bank is like, no, sir, can't do that. Like, we need to, your father has to come in and do this. And they're like, well, he's like in the hospital. He's sick. He can't come in. And they're like, you got to figure out a way. They were like, maybe can you bring him here in an ambulance? So what the family did is that they brought in to the bank, they brought in like a photo of the man in the hospital. They also had like nurses or hospital staff like write something being like, yeah, no, for real, he's ill. he's in this hospital bed, confined to it. And the bank was like, sorry, we need to see him in person. And the family is like, well, we can't afford a private ambulance because the hospital was like, y'all ain't borrowing ours. And so there is actual video proof of the daughter pushing this hospital bed down the road into the bank, struggling to push it into the bank so that they could see her father in person. I was like, that is so ridiculous. I can't believe people have to deal with that. Cut to earlier this week. Okay, so my dad is 80. You know, doing well, walking every day, 5 days out of the week. But he's slowing down. He's 80, all right? So he went to get the car service, and somehow or another, he lost his wallet and his phone. You know, getting older, misplacing things. So here's where things get crazy. Let me give you some background. I'm the only one over here on the East Coast. Out of my immediate family, we got a whole bunch of people in New York and stuff because, that's where all the Caribbean immigrants go. So my 3 siblings, all older than me, everybody lives 20, 30 minutes from the house, my parents' house. We just call it the house because that's where we grew up. So my oldest sister lives at the house with my parents, just to, like, help take care of them, blah, blah, blah. But, okay. Hey, Rose. What's up, girl? What you doing? You don't want to say nothing? Really? My bad for trying to include you in things. So, the other night, I get a call. And, you know, I'm trying to get my sleep together. So, I was winding down. It's 8:45. I'm like, okay, let's start winding down. Journal a little bit. Color. Keep up on the Diddy shenanigans with his evil ass. And I get a call from my oldest sister. And she's like, hey, can you help Daddy with his card? Because he lost his wallet and his phone. Like, can you call Bank of America so he can get it canceled or whatever? Now, in my head, I'm like, literally all y'all live there. Like, live within a few minutes, if not at the house. But I'm being called on the East Coast to do this. But I didn't ask any questions, you know? I'm like, I'm here. I'm fine with helping my father. But I was like, they're not gonna give me any information because, you know, I'm not the account holder. But it's like, whatever. Let's go ahead and try. Let's go ahead and try. The first thing I noticed and realized is that it is very difficult to get a human on the phone. I think we all know that, but the difficulty was at a totally increased level. I am grabbing the Winter Wonderland palette from Cosmic Beauty. I want to get a deeper blue, and I know it has one in here, so I'm going to go in with Clear Skies. So, first of all, I have all my dad's information, right? He doesn't know his account number, but we have the social, the birth date. He knows his license number, know all this stuff, right? In his head. So we have all of that. And I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and try, but chances are it ain't going to happen, right? So I get to the automated system because that's where it starts. You don't talk to humans anymore. Get to the automated system and it's asking like, what would you like to do? I don't know. I'm like, I need to help my father. And the automated system doesn't know what that means. You know, when they're like, say what you need help with, or you know what I mean? You know. So you could say like billing or account balance, blah, blah, blah. But I can't do that because I'm calling in order to get my dad's card canceled and a new one sent. Now, I know that this is possible because I just did it for myself a couple days before, right? I'm looking at the picture. I just did this a couple days before, so I know you can do it. I know but I did mine in the mobile app. I'm like, ain't no way. First of all, my dad lost his phone. Second of all, I know he doesn't know how to do this, okay? Like, anyway, no fault of his own, just, you know, lots of this stuff didn't even exist. Anyway, so I keep trying. I'm entering the account number, all this information, and they're like, now that we have gotten this information, we will text you a link and you can just go online and fix it. And I'm like, he lost his phone. You can't text a link. I'm still talking to the AI thing. And then the backup phone number is my parents' landline. How you gonna text a landline? You can't text a landline. But I'm just going back and forth in these circles. I'm pushing 0 and yelling customer service. And they're like, in order to get you to a customer service agent, we need this important information. We would like to text this to your phone. Like what? We're literally circling each other. We're circling each other and we're not getting anywhere. So I'm just like, we don't have a phone. Like, I just want to be able to talk to someone real quick just so you can get me to the correct person I'm supposed to be talking to. Right? That's it. That's it. 45 minutes later. 45 minutes later. First of all, now it's way past when I wanted to go to sleep, right? Because I got to get up at like 5:45 and go to the office the next morning. I'm going to go into Pretty Chic from Colored Raine and do a mix of these two shades here. That is Sweetheart and Daydream. I'm going to put like that, one of the pinks on this eye. Then I'm going to put an orangey shade on this eye. You'll see what I'm talking about. So, finally, after 45 minutes, and you bet not say nothing, because then the thing comes on and it's like, I'm sorry, I did not catch what you said. I'm like, I'm just grumbling over here and cussing y'all out. I'm not trying to say nothing to this automatic system. In that time frame, my sister, who is in the room with my father, called me. She in the room with my dad. Why you couldn't call? I don't understand. But I asked no questions. I asked no questions. I just sometimes it's just easier to shut up and do it. And that's what I was doing. You know, you learn that sometimes it ain't even worth it, girl. Just go ahead and do the thing and call it a day. So then we get to someone, and I'm trying to explain. I was like, I am calling on behalf of my elderly father. He lost his card today and his whole wallet and everything, and we're trying to get his card canceled. How do we go about doing this? And they're like, well, we have to speak to him. Thankfully, again, my sister had called and was on the phone, and my dad is in the background, you know, in the background on the speakerphone, and the lady is like, we need him to say his name. He says his name. And then the lady is like, sir, do you give us permission to talk to your daughter? So like I said, my father is 80. My father is speaking through a speakerphone. My father does not know how to do all of this. Mind you, my father is also from Trinidad. My mom's from Guyana. So my dad is like, yes, yes, yes. You know, and so he's a little louder because he's 80. And he has the accent. And I don't know if the lady didn't, I don't know. But the lady was like, okay. And I wanted to be like, girl, if I didn't need your help right now. Because I felt like that was so, I'm going to go into the Sunset Chic palette and use these oranges and red down here. Evening, Gloaming, and Nightfall. So I was really turned off by that because my dad was not being like rude or anything. He is shouting into the phone because what old person do you know that doesn't shout into the phone? And with his accent, I'm thinking you're reading something into it that is actually not there, right? He's just trying to give his daughter permission to talk to you about this information. And so here we go again. They're like, well, we can text you a link. The phone is lost, ma'am. What you gonna text? Well, we can email it to you. We actually can't get into the email right now. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It was just so much to just do this thing that I had done the week before in like 10, 15 minutes because of being able to access the mobile app and everything. And it just took, and I think as we were going, like she was getting a bit more, like she was being a little nicer. But I swear to you, I am trying to figure out a way to like complain to Bank of America, not necessarily about her, but to the fact that the automated system is not intuitive. Like if I am struggling, I can't even imagine someone who's a bit older trying to figure out all this mess. Like, and trying to figure out, so you gonna text me, I have to click on this link. Do I even have an online account? Like, it's just too much. That was one of the first times I was like, this doesn't make any sense. How do they expect? Maybe they don't. Maybe they just want people to leave them alone. Because I'm like, how do you expect an older person to do all this? Let alone immigrant. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? I just feel like this is so inaccessible for so many people. Not even just older folks, but anyone with any kind of cognitive issue. Don't even call, girl, because they ain't gonna help you at all one bit. I was so turned off, disappointed, just like, and also just, you know, it was made clearer to me. What is not clear is why I'm doing it from the East Coast, but that's okay. All right, that's okay. You literally in the same room, but that's fine. That's not his fault. So yeah, like, I'm just, let me know if you've had that experience. It just made me really upset, and I felt like the lady was just rude. Like, I'm not asking you to just be all up our butts and nice, but at least don't be rude. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just, that really bothered me. And I was trying to explain to her, listen, like, we're trying to figure this out. And yeah. So it's not, it doesn't feel like it's as out of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's not as out of the norm as I thought it would be. Because if that lady had to wheel her father into the bank, then I'm like, well, yeah, of course they gonna do this in a way to my dad. Like, why wouldn't they? I mean, I could go on and get my, like, just the how the aging process is treated, especially the difference in how that is for men and women. And I don't know, y'all. Let me know if you've had any experience like that at all. Because I know I was irritated. And I wanted to tell Deidre about herself, but we don't have time for that because I needed to go to bed. It was like an hour or two later from the beginning. That was so ridiculous. Okay, I am going to just kind of clean this up because it's doing a lot and put on some foundation. I'm going to use the House Labs foundation, and this is in the shade. It's in some kind of shade. I do definitely have it in my description box. Oh, 480 medium deep neutral. Child, where are my reading glasses? Okay, I'm gonna be back. Here's the final look. Y'all, I didn't feel like taking my hair down, so hopefully that's okay. Yeah. And I tried to do like a little ombre thing with my lips. And here is the finished look. I actually really like it. Wow. I will put the picture I attempted to get inspiration from somewhere. And yeah, I think that is it. Now, even though I'm not as on top of Copy Kitty, make sure you go over to my good girlfriend Jam Vance channel and see what she did this week. She is on it and has weekly videos for our Copy Kitty collaboration. I, on the other hand, don't. Anyways, let me know what you think about these stories. Harry and Chic, and like, I guess aging and trying to help folks who are aging and our own aging and how things are just inaccessible and how people can just be rude and mean and how we can never talk to humans. Let me know. Anyways, I will love it if you like the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.